Hello and welcome to another video from AutoCAD in 20hours.com. This is a quick startup for those of you who just want to get up and start drawing quickly. Go to your YouTube settings before you begin watching this video, or you are watching it, and see if you can set it to HD. You may or may not be able to do that depending on your internet settings. When you first open up AutoCAD, you might get a lot of pop-ups. Just get rid of them by clicking on the little X's up in the upper right corner. This is the drafting and annotation window, as you see up here at the top. I'm going to set it up in Classic for this demonstration, and then you can go back and just switch it back to, it's frozen up on me now, to the drafting and annotation setting if you want to use the ribbons after you set it up. Close all these little boxes that show up, clicking on the little X's. Okay. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to type startup. You don't need to actually click in the command line. Your typing will just automatically enter in the command. And I've got already have this set to 1. You probably have 0, so type 1 and enter. Now come up to the top, click on the File button, and click on New. And this is what that does. When you set the value for startup to 1, you get this box appearing when you click New. You have 3 different buttons at the top. We're interested in this button here to the right. And this is for setting your units of drawing. You can set them to metric, or you can set them to imperial, whichever you're going to use, and then click OK. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to get more toolbars. In order to do that, we hover over a toolbar that's already on the screen, and we right click, and this toolbar menu shows up. Now, if these little boxes appear, by the way, hit escape to get them to go away. If you come up to the top and you right click on some of them, you'll get nothing unless you click on the little grip. Who knows why that is? Others of them up the top will give you the menu, and some of them won't, but at the side they'll always give you the menu. So select these toolbars, dimension, and unfortunately it disappears every time. Draw. I'm going to click draw order off because I don't use it. And okay, we just lost our toolbars. There we go, draw came back. Okay, inquiry. We're going to click on layers. We are going to select modify, and we are going to select object snap, and we are going to select zoom. Now these all appeared off to the side, but usually what's more common is that they'll pop up here in the screen. Sometimes they pop up to the side, sometimes they pop up in the screen. I've never quite been able to figure out why that is. So yours may have appeared here. In order to move them and dock them off to the side, we are going to hover over the grip, press down on the mouse button, hold it down, then move the bar over to the side where we want it and release it. Grab it by the grip, hold down on the mouse button, move it to where you want it, and release it. Now down at the bottom we have a row of buttons, and I'm going to turn them all off except for the ortho and the object snap. Your screen may look like this and have grids on it. I usually don't use the grids, so just turn those off also. Now hover over the object snap and right click. That'll bring this flyout box. You can set your object snaps right here by clicking on these buttons, or you can click the settings button, and that brings up the drafting settings, which, as you can see, has quite a few tabs. We're interested in the object snap, and we're going to turn on the endpoint, the midpoint. I'm actually going to turn the node off, the intersection, and the perpendicular. Those are very handy. If you have too many of them or all of them on, often it'll start snapping to places that you don't want it to. Well, that's the setup. Just a couple of notes here. If you hover over the buttons and don't press a button on your mouse, these boxes fly out and tell you what the buttons are called. If you hover over the grip of the toolbar, it will tell you what that toolbar is. Sometimes it takes a minute to do that. Also, the ortho, you can hit F8 on your keyboard, and for the object snap you can hit F3, and that toggles it off and on. So that's your quick setup, and now you're ready to begin drawing. If you have trouble with the line, look at my line video, and the setup for text, line, layers, and dimensions will be found on those videos. Be sure to visit www.AutoCAD in 20 hours for your free trial and more free information.